Pond5.
We will be asking these speakers to speculate and predict what's going to happen in the next 12 months of music, as opposed to what's already gone by. Strawberry Fields, the #3 festival in the world for the month of November. We've got New Year's Eve on the Hill, Paradise Music Festival. People are talking about a trend among punters towards boutique events. Do you think in November 2014, 1 year on, this is something we're going to see more of, like people moving away from the big box festival towards more boutique events?
Short answer to that is yes. 2014 has been awesome. It's been awesome because everyone knows about every band in the world and nobody had to fucking buy their record. And therefore, if you book a festival, everyone knows all the bands you book, even the bands playing at 11 a.m. They're famous. And it's pretty amazing booking a band at 11 a.m. knowing they're going to have a big crowd. So all festivals in 2014 have already sold out.
Excellent news.
Yeah.
This leads me to another question, though. I mean, you made the point. I mean, it's not that far from the truth. People are more exposed to music than ever before, thanks to internet radio, digital radio, YouTube. We see acts come into Australia and sell out without even being on radio these days. In November 2014, what are you looking at when you're bringing bands out from overseas? What's more important, how many plays they've had on Australian radio, or how many YouTube views they have in this territory?
What's overseas? Like, Australian bands are so much bigger than all international bands, it's ridiculous. Go and look at your computer and actually look at, no disrespect to, what's that place called? America.
Yeah, I feel really lonely over
No
here,
disrespect to
guys.
America, but the new bands of America in a duke out with the new bands of Australia, they're not even in the ring. I could name you 50 Australian bands bigger than the biggest hype band of America.
I'm going to tell you what, I'm already in the future coming from America. So over here, in 2015, where I live, we're back on top.
Are there any good bands in 2015? Because there's none at the moment.
There's
They're
no
all
more
rubbish.
bands, period.
They're all those rubbish Foster the People type bands manufactured in a warehouse.
No, those are boring.
They've only
they're
got
gone.
one song. They're terrible.
No, there are definitely no more bands who only have a hit. It's all hits all the time.
So there's two companies, Duopoly, which basically will take a clip out of every single piece of music which is sold in the world.
Fair enough. And it's November 2014, so I suppose the 2014 Air Awards has just passed.
It's actually the 2014 Carlton Dry Independent Music Awards.
There we go.
We would have just finished our second year of our successful relationship with Carlton
Did you
Dry.
just ink that sponsorship deal again? Just
We'll
now?
have a few more sponsors by then, I think.
Oh, okay.
But certainly
Anyone else
nothing
you want
that
to...
conflicts with Carlton Dry. But, yeah.
So I'm curious, who took out Best Independent Label this year?
I've been thinking about this lots, actually. Unless you join Air, you won't be. Say from
All
Mistletoe.
of our bands are Australian. I assume I'm just a part of it,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you should join. We'll talk about that later. No, I think, honestly, I think that it could be Remote Control, because they're working with a lot of, back in 2013, they started working with a lot of really interesting Australian bands, and I like their potential local focus and the deals they've done with a lot of local indie labels.
Yep.
Very cool. Otherwise, I think perhaps Chapter would be the kind of long-deserved recognition as one of the pinnacle labels in the country. Well, that'll happen to them.
Could I just say, Nick, that I find it really depressing that your vision for independent music is that it's all going to be through major labels.
It's not. I don't want it to be that. I'm going to do everything I can to stop it. But I'm just saying, I'm sorry.
No, that's right. I find that a terrifying vision of the future.
Pond5.